Hey everybody, it's me, Linda, with Smokehouse all-purpose seasoning. I just wanted to touch bases on what's all involved in this. It's all-purpose seasoning, to where you don't have to have all the red pepper and all the different other seasonings like garlic powder and all that different containers in your cabinet. You can just have one all-purpose, multi-purpose seasoning, whatever you want to call it. Low in sodium, very low compared to any of the other ones. You can check it out on the back. You'll definitely see what I'm talking about. Once you put it up beside somebody else, you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. Top of the line seasoning. It has your red pepper, your white pepper, your garlic salt, and your regular salt in it. It is fabulous on everything. We haven't found anything yet, and our friends and clients that we deal with haven't found anything yet that it is not good on. But today we're going to make hog head cheese, but it's going to be headless because hog heads tend to gross everybody out, which it don't bother me. I'm used to cooking the old style, the old way, what my ancestors, grandma, and all them used to cook. So did me well all this time. We love it. It's great. It's great on crackers. It's good any which way you want to go with it. But today we're not going to do the hog head, so you don't have to worry about grossing out on that. Today we used a Boston butt pork roast. You can get that at any Walmart or any other grocery store that is close to you. Today I used a 6 to 6.5 pound roast. What I did is I used that with 6 to 8 hog feet. Okay, they come already cut in half in the stores, and they're raw. That helps your meat to solidify, which means gel, so that when it sets in the refrigerator, when you take it out and you're ready to serve it, you can serve it like in a Jello mold or whatever, and then cut it up and serve it on crackers that way, or just snack on it. It's totally up to you. But what I did is I put one of these in, I boned it out, I cut it up, and I added 6 to 8 hog feet. I put that in there with my 2 large green bell pepper, 4 onions, 4 white onions, medium size. I used 4 pretty good size whole garlics, and I cut all that up. And then I used about 2 cups of celery. All of this is cut up to your liking. If you like big chunks, by all means, cut it the way you like. I like small stuff. And then I took and I added it all in my cooker. I put that, the cut up meat and the hog feet in here with the cut up vegetables, covered it with water. Okay, then you're going to set it to simmer, medium to high, depends on your stove. Medium to high, and I boiled it for 3.5 to 4 hours, just to where the meat is falling off of the bone. If you want to put the whole roast in there, by all means do it. Put the feet in there. When you boil it, you want it to separate. When you're looking at it, you want it to separate from the bone. Take the meat out. You can see I've already started cutting it up. So this is, I kept a couple of the hog feet. So all you're going to do is you're deboning this, just as if you were doing chicken or, any kind of roast or whatever, if you're trying to get the meat off of the bone, because of course you don't want any bones in there. And you do it the best that you can, trying to get all the good stuff, because this is what makes it gel up. So, we'll do this real quick. It's not hard at all. It's just the hog feet, they have a lot of little joints, and it's to me it's like a sweet meat, and it doesn't dry out on you. And I'll just throw that in my bone bowl. Okay, and then this is just pieces of meat after my roast. This is off of my roast. So all I'm doing is just trying to get it cut up, because again, I don't like big chops, of meat or big chops of vegetables. So I try to keep everything, you know, kind of dainty. And to me, it blends well, you know, when you put your seasoning and your vegetables and, you know, such like that. This is another piece of the pork roast. It's just pulled off of the bone, cut up, you know, boiled and cut up, and it's tender. You can cut it with a knife, or it just tears apart. That's how tender it is. Then in goes all this, making sure that I don't have any bones whatsoever. You don't want anybody biting into a bone. That would not be good. Okay. And my second one, like I said, I had 6 to 8 feet, but I left out a couple just to show you how I do it. I mean, it's not really hard at all. It's a little time consuming, but hey, what's good that's not time consuming? But I'm all about easy recipes, get in and get out. I don't want to be sitting in no kitchen sweating, but I want it to be good. And again, you can do it with the hog head. You can get your pig feet, hog heads, whatever. I guess if you wanted to use pigtails, you could use that also. You could get any of that at your grocery store or your local butcher shop. Just tell them that you want, you know, a fresh hog head or fresh feet, and they'll know exactly what you're talking about. Again, we're just cutting it up into smaller chunks. Alright, so we get that all in there. Make sure that we don't have any big bites, because you want all of your flavors to go in there. And see that the bell pepper and the onions and the celery and the garlic was boiled into this. Okay, I mean, you could see little bitty pieces of it. It's all boiled in it, but it's soft. I don't like crunchy stuff. If you like it, you can add it in at this point. But I cooked it with my meat to give my meat the flavor that I wanted. Plus it's soft when I bite into it on a cracker or whatever. I'm just that way. Okay, so there's that. Now I have about a cup and a half, maybe 2 cups. 2 cups would be pushing it, of jalapenos that I want to go in there. Just because I like a little bit of spice. This is all optional. By all means, if you do not like any spice, don't put the peppers. Okay. So I just give them a little bitty chop so that it's not big, you know, hunks of it. It's kind of going to blend in. Get all this halfway chopped up. Right in there it goes. Alrighty. And probably from start to finish, if I had to say, this, I mean, well, till you get it ready to go in your refrigerator to set and gel up to where you can serve it. To get it to the point to go in the refrigerator, you're probably looking at about 4 hours, and 3.5 of that is just boiling the meat, and then it takes a few minutes to let it cool off, and then to get it pulled off of the bones, because you will burn yourself up if you try to do it while it's hot. So I just mix that up, blend that good flavor in with the jalapenos. Get it good and blended. Alright, now here I have 2 cups of chopped parsley. I did the same thing. I did it a little bit in advance to where you could, you know, see more of what's really going on instead of just me cutting up stuff. Just trying to show you how quick and easy, and you can boil your meat if you want Like if you know that you're going to have a party or something, you can boil all this stuff a day or two in advance and just set it in your ice box. You know, just take your meat out and cut it up, pull it off of the bones, cut it up real good, and you can put all your jalapenos and parsley and all that in there, and just put it in a good container or a Ziploc bag and set it in the refrigerator. And then when you get ready the next day, you set your broth up too. You put it in a good closed container. Then what you would do is the day that you get ready, you put your broth back on the stove and you get it to like a good little simmer, not a heavy boil, to where it, you know, can get all broke back up again and be real loose. So that when you get ready, you're going to take and you're going to add all this together, put it in a pan. You're going to give it a little bit of seasoning to taste. This is all I use. You will not see me pick up salt, garlic salt, or anything like that. It has it already in here. This can be found at any of your Walmarts and a lot of the little mom and pop shops. But we just season to taste. And I put the Buck Smokehouse in the meat while it's boiling, so that, you know, it can also be cooked into it. So that way I don't have to put a lot afterwards, because anytime you're cooking anything, if you add what you want to season with it, it cooks into the meat to where it's not like a top layer. It's not just sitting there and then it doesn't blend good with the meat. It doesn't have time to get in there and get that good flavor that you want. So, alright, we got that done. Now, all I'm going to do is kind of get this off my hands a little bit. I'm going to grab my little pans, get this out of the way. And you might want to keep you like a little wet rag, just to kind of give your hands a little bit of a wipe. I have a couple, oh, you don't want to drop it. I have a couple of dishes, spread dish. It's like loaf pans. Let me set that right there. It's kind of hard when your hands are slippery. But I have two of these. You can use whatever size you would like. Let me move this out of the way. Okay. So I have two loaf dishes, and then I have two pans, because this is a pretty good size recipe. You can half it in two and just use half of what I said. Totally alright. It's going to taste the same way. I have my stock, my pork stock, with all the little grimmies of your garlic and your onions and your bell pepper and your celery and your Buck Smokehouse seasoning. It's all been boiled in here. So it's ready for me to just take. This is so simple. Take. And you just want to put you a good layer of meat into your pans. You don't want to overfill it now. Just put you a good layer. It's all about touching it. So don't be scared of, you can't go wrong with this. It's so easy. Okay, I don't want to put too much, but I want to have enough for each bite that you take. You will get a good flavor. Okay, I think maybe I can just use one of these, but I'm going to see. I'm just putting it in there. There's no certain way of doing it. Just grab it up, place it in there, and maybe, you know, get all that good stuff. This is just so unbelievably good. I can't tell you. And I just kind of pack it down in there, and you're going to see why in just a second. Alright. I just kind of give it a good little pat. And you see how it's all just, everything's just in there real good. Alright, move this out of my way. Alright, now this is very hot. This is all of my broth. If you want to get a good look at this to see, it's all the broth that meat was cooked in. There's still some little pieces of meat in there, which is totally fine. It's so tender that you can just break it up. It's kind of hot right now to do that, but if you miss some, that's totally fine. But what I'm doing is I'm pouring that broth over top of it, because it has all of that gelatin in it that's going to make it solidify and make it firm up to where within a couple, 2 or 3 hours, that it's been sitting in your ice box or your freezer, depends on how fast you want to eat it. It'll be ready to serve on crackers or bread, or just snack on it as it is. But you want to put a good covering amount, because that meat will soak up. And like I said, if you have a few little pieces in there, it's not a big deal. Chop it up with your spoon, because it will all firm up together and be very delicious. We got to make sure that we use just about all of our broth. Yeah, I'm making a little bit of a mess, but hey, it's not good if you don't make a mess. See all them bell peppers and celery and garlic, all that goodness. And you want it to be real good and covered. Because that meat, like I said, it will soak up that juice. And you don't want it to crumble. You want it to hold together. And I like to make sure that I kind of give it a little punch to where that juice gets all in there. It doesn't just sit on the top. It's going to get all in there. Makes my mouth water just sitting here thinking of it. Good little punch like that. And I'll give this one just a little bit more. Alright. Well, I mean, it's just that easy. Maybe 5-10 minutes it took for me to do this, but from beginning to end, with your meat cooking, which is about 3.5 to 4 hours, because you want it to fall off the bones. Then you're deboning probably 10 minutes worth, because you want to give it about 5 minutes to cool off to where you can handle it. And then cutting it up, all your vegetables and everything's been cut up except for your jalapenos. You just mix it all together, season to taste, and you're good to go. It goes in the ice box, or like I said, if you are in a hurry to eat this and you don't want to wait, you can put it in your freezer and let it sit for maybe a couple hours, if that. And it will, once it is set, when you shake it, it'll be like a Jello mold. It'll shake just like a Jello mold, but it will stay together. It will not be runny. Then you can take these little containers or this big one. You get your cutting board or your plate, your platter. You flip it over and you make little slices. Put it on crackers or serve it just like it is. It is wonderful. If you have any questions, or if you Walmart that you want, it's very delicious. Hope you like what I've done here. If so, please subscribe to us on Facebook or YouTube. That's Buck's Smokehouse. Have a great day. Bye.